The fridge door was still open when I heard her scream. That sound, sharp, panicked, wrong, cut through the apartment like broken glass. I was sitting at the small kitchen table, hands folded, spine straight, waiting. I didn't flinch. I'd already lived through the worst part. This was just the echo. A week earlier, she had stood in this same kitchen and smiled while emptying my life. "I'll manage everything for you, Mama," she said, scrolling on her phone while I signed the papers. "Pension transfer, power of attorney." Her tone was soft, loving, practiced. I was 72, my hands shook, my trust didn't. 2 days later, the money was gone. Not spent, taken. The inciting moment didn't come with shouting or slamming doors. It came quietly, through a bank alert I didn't understand at first. Zero balance. Then a photo on social media, her feet in the sand, toenails painted coral, the sea behind her like a promise she had no intention of keeping. I sat alone that night with an empty cupboard and a dry mouth. No food, no cash, no call from my daughter. I remember the sound of my stomach growling, louder than the clock on the wall. I remember thinking, so this is how betrayal sounds. I raised her alone. That's the part people don't argue with. Her father left early, cleanly, like he was returning something defective. I worked double shifts. I skipped meals so she could eat. I taught her how to braid hair, how to lie politely, how to survive. I thought I taught her kindness. Maybe I taught her efficiency instead. The signs had been there. I see them now. Her sudden interest in my finances, the way she corrected me when I said the pension was enough, the way she insisted on helping with paperwork. I ignored the tightening in my chest. Mothers do that. We call it love. The undeniable evidence came in a message meant for someone else. She left her phone on the table once, screen lit. A text preview flashed. "Don't worry, she won't notice until I'm back. Old people never do." I read it once, then again, then I put the phone back exactly where it was. I didn't cry, not then. That's when my mindset shifted. Something inside me went quiet, cold, focused. I didn't confront her. I didn't beg. I didn't warn. I planned. First, I called the pension office. Calm voice, clear questions. I learned what had been moved, where, and under what authority. Then I called legal aid, then the bank. Each conversation was a brick. Each name I wrote down was a nail. I stopped eating, not by choice, by design. I let the fridge empty itself. Milk gone, bread stale. Nothing left but a single plastic container at the back, sealed tight. I prepared it carefully, methodically. Not poison, nothing illegal, just truth preserved. I documented everything, screenshots of her seaside photos, copies of the transfer forms, the message. I even kept the receipt from the day she bought herself a new swimsuit, paid for with my pension, paid for with my hunger. When she came back, she looked radiant, sun-kissed, relaxed. She hugged me like a performer hugs a fan, loose, temporary. "You look thin," she said, not unkindly. "Did you eat?" I smiled, small, tired. "I waited for you." She laughed, already walking to the fridge. "You should have called. I would have sent money." That was the moment, the present catching up to the past. She opened the fridge. Inside was the container. On top of it, taped neatly, was a folder. Her name written in my handwriting. Inside, copies of everything, highlighted, labeled, organized. She screamed when she saw the photos, when she understood, when the story she told herself cracked. "What is this?" she shouted, turning to me, face drained of color. "That," I said, finally standing, "is what you ate this week." She opened the container with shaking hands. Inside were receipts, printouts, a note written slowly, deliberately. "I starved so you could tan." Her mouth opened, closed. She tried to speak, tried to explain, tried to cry. I raised my hand. "I've already filed the report," I said. "Fraud, elder abuse, financial exploitation. The pension office reversed the transfer this morning. The bank flagged your account. Your employer was notified." She sank into the chair. "You can scream," I added, "but the neighbors already know. I told them why I didn't have food." The payoff wasn't loud. It was the silence that followed, the way her shoulders collapsed, the way she realized I wasn't the weak variable in her equation. She left that night, no seaside glow, no goodbye hug. Now the fridge is full again, not just with food, but with space, control, peace. I don't feel sad, I feel finished. Betrayal doesn't always come from enemies. Sometimes it comes from the child you taught how to swim, who learns just enough to leave you drowning. But I didn't drown. I waited, I watched, I planned. And when she opened the fridge, she finally saw what hunger looks like.